once again, welcome back to my channel. Our topic for today is how to write your review of related literature and studies. Welcome to Research 101. Ano nga ba ang review of related literature and studies? So ngayon, dapat tapos ka na sa chapter 1 mo, no? Meron ka ng sinulat mo na ang introduction mo, ang SOP mo, significant studies mo, scope and delimitation, definition of terms. So the next thing that we have to do is to write your review of related literature and studies. Bakit ba importante ang related literature and studies? At paano natin ito gagawin? At paano tayo magsisearch ng ating mga related literature and studies? So panoorin nyo hanggang sa huli para malaman nyo kung paano ito gawin. Ano nga ba ang review of related literature and studies? Ito ay matatagpuan sa chapter 2 at meron siyang tatlong parts. The first part is the review or the related literature and studies. Number 2, makikita din dito ang yung theoretical framework and of course the conceptual framework. Pero may mga researches or may mga thesis na nakikita yung kanilang theoretical framework sa chapter 1. So, sa pag-uusapan natin ngayon, ang theoretical framework ay nasa chapter 2. Okay. Pero for this video, magpo-focus muna tayo sa ating review of related literature and studies or ang tawag natin ay RRLS. Ano nga ba ito? It is the process of compiling, classifying, and evaluating what other researchers have written. Ano na ba yung mga nasulat? No, ano na ba yung mga studies na before na na-comply, na-classify, at na-evaluate na at na-publish na related or may relevance sa study mo. It is a process where the researcher collects the information materials related to the topic. So, anong gagawin mo ngayon? No? So, di ba may title ka na, may SOP ka na. So, magkukolek ka ngayon ng mga information and materials relevant doon sa study mo. Ano bang purpose of RRLS? The purpose of literature review is to gain an understanding of the existing research and debates relevant to a particular topic of area of study, and to present that knowledge in the form of a written report. Conducting a literature review helps you build your knowledge in your field. Why is it important to include the review of related literature in the research process? Gaano ba ito ka-importante? Bakit ba ito importante? The literature review is important because it describes how the proposed research is related to prior research in statistics, for example. It shows the originality and relevance of the research problem. It demonstrates your preparedness to complete the research. Prepared ka na ba? Prepared ka bang gawin itong study mo? Meron ka bang enough information about this? Original ba? No, may originality ba? No? Yung ginawa mo or just a duplication of previous studies? No? May relevance ba? No? Yung mga research studies before sa research problem mo. No? So, sa pamamagitan ng pagre-review ng literature and the research process, mas maintindihan natin kung ano ang ating main topic or main focus or yung ating main objective. So what are the 4 major goals of a literature review? Ano bang goal natin dito? To determine what exists in the scholarly literature. Ano na bang meron? No? Ano na bang meron? Okay? Pag na-determine natin yan, we will able to identify the gaps, no, in the scholarly literature for further research. Dito, ano ba yung gaps ngayon? Diyan ka ngayon papasok na kailangang, diyan ngayon papasok yung study mo na parang sinasabi mo, okay, there is a gap, no, from the previous researches. So, I need to have, or there is a need to do a further research, no? And then to inform the research topic, theory and associated methodology to be informed, no? Ano yung kailangan na theory, ano yung applicable na theory, anong relevant na theory, anong relevant na methodology, no? Na kailangan na pwedeng gamitin, no? Ano yung mga relevant sa study mo in terms of theory and methodology. Diyan mo rin makikita. And the next goal is to compare contrast against findings resulting from the current study. So yan ang goals ng literature review, kaya napaka-importante nitong part na ito ng inyong thesis. How to search for related studies and literature. Siyempre, kapag foreign literature and studies, ang author mo dapat ay galing sa ibang bansa. Kapag local literature and studies, the author mo should be from the Philippines. For literature, you can find them on Google's, or meron pang mga apps, no, na pwedeng na available. And for studies, you can find them on Google Scholars. Are the three parts of literature review. First is introductory statement. Example, this chapter is a compilation of different information and researches conducted by people who made valuable contributions in the field of guidance and counseling, employability, and self-efficacy. So this is the introductory statement of the thesis. It's just an example. No? You can have your own style in writing the introductory statement. The next part is the topic discussion or background information section. Now, this body of the review contains the discussion of sources. Don't forget to cite the authors of the related literature and studies that you use in your studies. Part 2, you define the main topics using citations and to discuss your main topics or your main variables. Example, thesis title, employability, self-efficacy of high school students. So if your format is topical, there's no need to separate foreign and local studies. But you have to discuss your related literature and studies per topic. No, may mga formats naman sa ibang universities and colleges yung ginagamit nila yung foreign and local, no? So kapag topical ang gagamitin mo, ang uunahin mo muna i-discuss yung mga related literature, then to be followed yung mga studies. Okay? For example here, no? So dito may makikita ka dyan sa arrow, may citation. Okay? So ang tawag dyan is in-text citation. Bibigyan ko kayo na isang complete example of a review of related literature and studies later. Okay, and then the third part is writing your synthesis. Ano ba yung synthesis? Okay, synthesis views the ideas taken from the literature studies. No? The objective of your research by identifying their relevance. Establish the connection of their ideas to your research. Okay, discuss the ideas that you have gathered and establish the relevance of the references to your study. So dito establish mo, no, what makes your research different from previous researches at ano ang relevance, no, yung mga studies na to sa'yo, sa study mo. Ano yung mga steps dito? First, discuss what makes your study different from those cited researchers. Discuss that there is an existing problem that was not yet discussed by previous researchers. And also discuss the need to do your research to fill the gap. Na parang sabi mo dito that there is a need, no? Here are all the related. Here are all, parang sabihin mo na, here are all the related literature and studies, no? Previously made by different researchers. But despite all of these, there's still a need, no, to do my research. Here's an example of your review of related literature and studies. The title of the study is Employability, Self-Efficacy of Senior High School Students. Here is an example of review of related literature and studies. As you can see, it is under chapter 2. So the first part that you can find here is the introductory statement. This chapter is a compilation of different information and researches conducted by people who made valuable contributions in the field of guidance and counseling, employability, and self-efficacy. This is just an example. You can have your own introductory statement. And then you can find here the next part is the topic discussion or background information section where you can find the definition of different variables and other concepts that you use in your study. For example, in this research entitled Employability Self-Efficacy of Senior High School Students, the researcher defined and discussed employability first because this is one of his major variables. Paano niya ba ito ginawa? First is defined it using the using different literature about the topic, and you can also find here that references are properly cited. Okay? This is one way of citing your references. This is in-text citation. No? Suma Nasari, Yahid, and Katibi 2015 claim that there is an increasing pressure from government, funding organizations, students, and parents in university. Okay, so next is after the discussion of the literature about the topic, sa literature, you can also find mga statistics. Okay, like here, according to Philippine Statistics Authority, no? And then he cited also, or she cited, Department of Education. And then pumunta siya after the literature, focused on the topic, pumunta na siya ngayon sa mga different studies about the topic. Okay, so ayan, different studies about employability. And then another topic na naman, no? Self-efficacy and performance. So again, nag-start siya ulit sa related literature about self-efficacy and performance. No? And then pumunta siya ngayon dito sa mga studies ulit. Okay? So ayan. And then next topic, pumunta siya ulit sa susunod na topic niya, which is okay, career guidance. No? Kasi ang topic niya is about the career guidance, or the study niya is about guidance and counseling. So, inano niya dito na justify niya na ang study na to is for guidance counselors. Okay, so i-discuss niya yan ulit ang career guidance. No? The same thing, nauna sa related literature, and then papunta sa kanyang researches related to that topic. And then afterwards, i-discuss na dito yung synthesis. What makes his or her study different from mentioned researches a while back, no? And discuss niya dito that there is a need, no, there is a gap, no, there are still no local study about this topic. That's why there is a need to do this topic. Okay?
So I hope that you learned a lot from our topic for today. Don't forget to like, you can share the video also. Subscribe and click the notification bell para palagi kayong updated sa mga videos ko. Thank you. Bye!